We are. Chronicles of the Coast, our Saturday stream, which is running 2 weeks in a row. That's amazingly good. That's a big jump in consistency for us.
We're just late today.
Yeah, late today. Between tardiness and also trying to figure out some changes in technology.
It's 2020.
Yeah, these things happen. If I wasn't struggling, then I would think I was dead. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I keep trying to, I got this tablet down here for the music, and I keep trying to use the mouse to the computer screen, and I'm like, why is the mouse not showing up? Anyways, you guys all made it to Kir Sabal, the Arakakra monastery in the mountains of Cholt. And what do you remember?
It flew right fucking past me.
Yeah, we were going to meet the true queen of Cholt, and May was running up and down stairs,
singing.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
The Rocky theme song.
Dun, 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 dun. That's the wrong song. I've never seen Rocky. There's the right song. I don't know.
That
What else?
You almost went Metallica.
This is why you normally play the bard.
That's why he normally plays the part. What do you remember, Chris? Or should I say May?
Well, May remembers running up and down steps on my way to go meet, as they said, the real queen of Cholt.
If I recall correctly, we were also trying to find the Arakakra that we saved.
Yes, with his name.
Because we are not true murder hoes yet.
Just only with our guides.
All of our guides are hoes. They're all dead.
Nafir is who we are also looking for.
Yes.
We have been
And then
promised the
Anyeb.
gift of fleet.
Anyeb is the one we first met, the very first time we met with our conqueror.
The one that
I have magic balls.
Anyeb was the one that helped us get to
5 of them to be exact.
when we were up before that.
Yes.
So, anything else?
I mean, we did find a few other things.
We fought piranhas.
Yeah, we fought piranhas.
Yeah, they.
They were trying to save me, but I didn't need to be saved.
You know, you didn't even know that you needed to be saved.
You could have at least think this a little bit.
You guys overreacted. Those piranhas didn't deserve that.
Some of them.
I don't know, they were trying to bite us.
You guys overreacted.
Just didn't feel it.
Did we end up making it into the green? Yeah, no, because that's where I got my magical balls at. Yeah.
Yes, we made it into that later. There we go.
I have magical balls.
You use magical slingshots. Shots for a sling.
Yeah, described as 5 metallic magic balls.
Yeah.
Right. So, you don't remember anything else? You guys got some treasure.
Remember, you spoke to the tree?
What about that wand?
Did speak to the tree. I killed the tree.
No,
We have it here now.
Right. So we do have that wand. And the diamonds. I wrote it down though, so don't
Good.
worry.
Yeah, if you wrote it down, we have.
Fantastic.
Yes. Wand. Did not get the name of the wand though.
I don't know if we got the name of the one.
I think it was one of
You're really quiet and I can't hear you.
it's because I'm thinking to myself.
I was trying to remember what the one was
I'm
called.
trying to remember what that wand was called.
I believe it was the Wand of Fear, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think, yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to be like, Wand of Fear, but I can be wrong and then look like a retard. Like I normally do.
Wand of Wonders. Pretty sure that's what it was. It was the Wand of Wonders.
Definitely was the Wand of Wonders, right, Jesse?
Definitely.
He said it.
Damn,
Right
say
there.
it.
Not.
Write it down.
If you get lucky, you might come across a Wand of Wonders sometime in this adventure. There's a lot of unusual and fun treasure coming up. Once you guys make it into the city of Omu and into where you're going to find your eternal reward, in the words of Jafar. What you are doing mostly is that you're now in this ancient monastery. It is built onto the side of a cliff, and it's mainly accessible by flying. Although since you don't fly, you find travel a little bit more difficult. They do accommodate for that though. There are wooden posts placed into the rock wall and planks across them to form sort of a switchback bridge in between all their buildings. You can see the structure over here. This is the main area. And as of right now, I believe you guys are all at the bottom area of this.
Yeah, I think we were down by the perch where I first landed at.
And for anybody who wants to be watching this home, turn that off. And hold up this view a little bit better to the map.
Okay. I would.
Here's a ball. Something like that. There we go. So, that is Kir Sabal. There's all kinds of different dwellings made out of what look to be like river adobe mud brought up to the top and turned into really, really simple, crude structures that are also perched on these pillars and planks coming from the rock
Fancy
wall.
our way here.
There is a couple of larger buildings that do strike you as somewhat more important, and most of them you're pretty sure are just dwellings. You got it. There was one Arakara, I believe, who was already speaking with you when you got here.
Yes,
And
she was.
she announced herself and introduced herself as Ashara. And so, she has flown off and landed elsewhere in the village. You're kind of just given free rein to go wherever you want, considering the fact that they don't really seem too concerned that you're here. They don't think of you as a threat, and even if you were, they know it's a long ways down.
Okay.
So, what would you like to do?
I believe they were taking us to meet the queen.
Well, you saw her fly up into another direction towards one of the larger houses. So, you...
I'm start making my way up towards one of these larger houses.
With where we're
I
at,
heard turning up and down here.
Yes.
with where we're at, the platform per se that we're on,
No?
what is on the opposite side of the cliff face that's going down? Does it open up into a larger building? Does it look like we've been landed on like the entryway to a matriarch chambers?
The buildings themselves, you don't think that they really open up to anything else. You're just on the front of this cliffside, and you don't suspect that there's like some sprawling labyrinth of caves or anything built into the mountain. I'm not really sure what you're asking and what's on the other side.
Well, so when they came down to pick us up, they took us to a nest.
Oh yeah.
And then they had told us that we must meet the real Queen of Chult, and then brought us here. So are we in front of a larger dwelling, or is this just a...
Pretty sure we're just on perch.
You're down at the bottom now of that picture that I showed you.
Yeah.
You're basically on the outside of some simple houses and structures and dwellings.
Okay, so it's not like we've been placed in front of an important looking
You have
building.
not been placed in front of the important looking buildings.
Okay.
In fact, Ashara is the one who just flew up to one of these important buildings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they basically said, hey, find your way around here, even though you've never been around here.
Or are we supposed to sit here and wait?
I don't know how that kind of
Like, why would they not have flown it? Like, why did they fly us all the way to the bottom? Like, just got.
I don't know. 'Cause I was all the way down there before. I ran my happy ass up, and then just to find out, I have to come back down.
Sorry, you've had a lot of those Pringles. You need the exercise. he's almost blushing. He's almost blushing on camera.
Just talk about me weight on camera.
So you travel up, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Moving upwards, there are a couple of different buildings that you pass along the way. For the most part, the whole bottom tier and the second tier are all dwellings. But as you come to one of the switchbacks, you see that the catwalk, as it were, that comes from the mountain leads into one building and seems to exit out through the top of the building up along. So you have to travel in through this particular building. As you get here, you enter into an area where you see that there are Arakakra who are dressed down to very, very simple garments, just something around the waist. And it almost appears to be ceremonial. They don't seem to have a concept of nudity so much, but you recognize it, May, because of your class, that it's a type of monk garment for ritual cleansing, and ironically, it would be modesty to wear these really simple clothing. The less they wear, the more modest they consider themselves to be.
Right. They're not really worried about being ordained and
right. They don't bother with fancy clothing and ornamentation, jewelry, and stuff like that.
What a fascinating society.
As you get in here, you see that there is a large statue that is covered with puzzles. And on this statue, strangely, this is what really gets your attention, is like the statue itself shows what you believe to be a god. But the god that they are leaving these offerings to on its pedestal is of a cat person.
Is this similar to what we saw on the bridge?
No.
It looks pretty similar, although this one's a cat and not like.
But there was a puzzle on that one.
There was a labyrinth
one. Yeah,
and this one has similar labyrinths, like mazes all over it, etched everywhere.
Without damaging it, can I kind of begin to run my finger through it and try to solve the maze?
Yes.
Also, I want to do a history check if I can. If I know who this cat is.
Well, as you get close, many of the aristocracy you're approaching, and they wings cross in front of you and stop, and they look at you and it's like, no, you must wash first. You must
I'm
bathe
sorry.
and anoint yourself with the oils and salts before you can stand before Ubtao.
Where can I do this?
And he gestures to the back of the room, and there's basins of water and salts and oils and incenses, all kinds of stuff just everywhere.
Alright, I walk over there.
I'm back there as well, cleaning myself up.
Get to the top, there's salts, powdered chalks, there's even gold dust. And as you get to there happens to be an Arakakra next to the gold dust. What are you laughing at?
I'm just waiting for my turn.
You get to the back, and as you begin your anointing, you wash with the water and waft in the incense, and you get to a spot. And one particular Arakakra looks at you, and he rubs his fingers into the gold dust, and he smears a design across your face, and does a unique design that is unlike any of the other Arakakra here.
Okay. Feels special. I like it.
Walk the maze, brother. Sister, walk the maze.
Sister's sorry.
Sir and or madam.
It's madam. It's madam.
Human folk all look the same to me.
As I walk up to this wash basin, I kind of look around. I would like to do an insight check on how No, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it. I put my hands in the water and I begin to shake violently and I say, "It burns! It burns!"
Oh my god.
Does it though?
The Arakocra in the room stop what they're doing and they all watch you intently to see what you do next.
I just stop and wash my hands.
As you go through the Arakocra who is waiting for you with the gold dust, you get through the ritual spaces and he looks at you and he says, "To disrupt rituals in Kir Sabal is punishable by death." Just so you know. And he doesn't do anything else, except that he takes a little bit of the gold as well, and on you he does a completely different pattern and design across your face.
Good.
2 circles.
Two of you may now approach Ubtao.
I approach it down.
You get up there and you see that there's garlands of flowers, nuts, and fruits, and all kinds of stuff are left as offerings. Many of them are starting to get a little bit old, and you can kind of smell the pungent aroma of fermenting fruit. But for the most part, it's a wooden statue, and it looks beyond old, beyond anything that you can comprehend as old. It is ancient, and the surface of the statue itself everywhere seems to be worn almost down to it's completely smooth and almost lost all texture from thousands and thousands of hands over the years.
Is there a defined path of how to correctly do this maze?
There is a maze. You can see that it's pretty easy to navigate this particular one because they navigate the maze frequently.
Yeah.
That the correct path is very worn in.
Okay. There were offerings. I don't know if I have much to offer.
I would like to pull out one of my insect repellents and offer it at the base of the statue.
You place your insect repellent at the base.
Don't you have all of our insect repellent?
I'm gonna place my insect.
Oh, nice.
No, we don't do that.
Is that why I have 40 of them?
Yes!
Well, I now have 39.
I've only got 14.
You get a lot better.
Okay, I placed one of my incense blocks at the base of it.
Is there any money at the base?
No.
Just consumable items?
Flowers, nuts, and fruit.
Flowers, nuts, and fruit.
We don't happen to have any rations on us, do we?
I don't.
I mean, of course we do.
Yeah, why would you say that?
How else would we have made it through all these days? Yeah, we definitely have some. Do I have nuts in my rations?
Yeah.
Alright.
Which
Instead of the incense block,
it's unfortunate because you're actually allergic to nuts.
that's why I have so many, because I don't eat them.
Just lifting up those peanut butter cookies, immediately your hand starts swelling up. So you take out some of your rations, you place a little bit of food on the pedestal before the altar. Some of the Arakocra, they kind of nod like this, seemingly in approval, although you see that they kind of like do a lot of weird head jerk movements the entire time when they're doing anything.
I don't know if they're approving or if they're it's just like a twitch they got.
Mm-hmm. I wash as well, and I pull some of my fruit out and I put it on the what?
Good berries.
I grow berries.
She's a dryad that grows berries in her hair.
Just like I have these here.
Do I get any weird looks or gestures? Or any different looks or gestures as I'm putting down a thing of insect repellent?
Nope.
I will put down food out of my rations as well.
So
I don't have anything cool.
after passing by the statue, you ascend up some stairs to the second floor of this area, and it leads out back across the cliffs.
I was gonna say once everybody was done with their stuff, I was gonna trace the maze.
I thought you already traced it.
Yeah, I already traced it.
While you're done there, you quickly trace the maze. Like, you're leaving without me. Trace the maze.
Speed run.
This statue, is it a circular base or is it?
Yeah. It's a circular base.
Does the maze go all the way around it?
No, it's like about this big, right on the front of the circular base.
Is there multiples?
There are, but there's one that's particularly worn. They all appear to be identical.
Okay.
They're not really too complicated of a maze.
Okay.
So, you ascend up the steps and travel into the next area. As you take to the stairs and leave it's a sharp climb. It goes from a vertical horizontal walkway that you've been on and turns into very steep stairs as you approach a very tall looking building. That is right here. Once what you see, you believe to be the main monastery of Kir Sabal. As you step in through the front, through this entrance through the side, you see that there is 6 Aarakocra in here who are dressed in very plain-looking brown, almost like a toga sort of robe, but tied sash around the front. It's really just like a single 9 yards of cloth from the back over the shoulder down, and then something tied across the front of it.
Do I notice anything metal on them?
Yeah, several of them appear to be wearing some sort of metal beads, necklaces of large beads about this big. And as a couple of them sit in the corner, you see that a few of them take the beads in one hand, and with each bead, they say some sort of a prayer in a language you don't understand. It sounds a lot like something between bird chirps and the whistling of wind. And they sit in a crisscross fashion, one bead to the next, they say something, then go to the next bead and they say something, and they circle this entire necklace as they pull it around their neck.
Almost like a rosary.
Something like that.
Okay.
And they say a different thing for each bead.
And to confirm, they are not speaking in Abyssal.
They are not speaking in Abyssal.
They're probably speaking in Aryan.
That is not the language.
Definitely language.
Orin.
Good job, Chris.
Orin. Close enough. Same thing.
Okay.
I never claimed to speak it. I just know of.
So you had mentioned that all of the Aarakocra that we've seen before this didn't really have any jewels, ornaments, or beading on them.
Just these ones.
And it's just these ones that have that.
Yeah, as they're sitting in here doing some sort of a ritual or of some sort. The other thing that you notice about them that's really different is that these ones have mazes and labyrinths painted across their entire bodies. Almost in the same similar fashion as what the Aarakocra had painted upon your faces, although none of you had gotten a maze.
Do I notice if they're repeating the same thing with every bead, or does it differ at all with each bead?
It appears to be different. It's very hard to say, but you kind of get the sensation that it's not the same thing.
Okay. What do we see any other living individuals in this larger room?
Well, right now you haven't even made it into the large room. The room that you're in right now is actually sort of an entrance hall.
Oh, okay.
You see that they're sitting around, and there is a dining table here, but these Aarakocra also sit along the wall, and they are doing their thing here.
How many of them are there?
There's 3 in this room.
Okay.
You see that around the table there is a series of backless benches and stools for seats, so as to accommodate for creatures with wings, you surmise. The table itself can seat up to 20 people. Leaving the main room and stepping into the actual main room proper, you see that there is a very large opening on the wall that overlooks the outside away from the cliff. And across the jungles of Chult is completely open with arches that you can see for miles and miles around from here. There is a single brazier of flame that lights the room and gives off a pretty strong heat, even from where you were standing on the other side. the room itself is about 20 feet, with a staircase that goes up to a balcony, and then it goes up again to a third floor of some sort, possibly. Oh, second floor. It goes up to a second floor. The balcony is like half.
This is all carved stonework, correct?
Nope. The walls themselves are made out of some sort of a plaster, maybe mud or something taken from the rivers below, but a lot of it is built out of wood and straw, but built into, against, and on the stone wall. You don't see any actual stone in here.
Okay.
The rafters of the ceiling are fully 60 feet above the floor. The peak of the thatched roof is 15 feet above that. And the space is large enough that the Aarakocra inside of this particular room are able to fly around on the inside of it. Although you only see one who's doing so, most of them seem to walk across the floor, and you believe that to be the case for the many banners of ritual prayer or something, ornamentation and decoration that hangs down, great sheets and banners of different designs of mazes. On the ground there was a circle labyrinth. The symbol of Utau is laid out on a floor mosaic 25 feet in diameter. Many of the Aarakocra monks are spending 4 or 5 of the Aarakocra monks are spending the day meditating while viewing the labyrinth from the lower and upper landings on the staircase. Other Aarakocra are here, and they're actually walking a path in the maze while they walk with their prayer beads in hand.
Not weird that bird people are worshiping a cat.
Yeah.
I mean, is that like the
Well, but I'm
satanic
pretty sure,
worship?
I don't even think it has to
Yeah.
specifically be a cat, because Utau is the same name at that bridge, which was a monkey.
That is fair.
So Utau, I think, is just kind of like,
Animals?
I almost think like nature, almost like just life in itself.
Would you allow a history or religion check to see what I know about the name Utau?
It's a religion check.
Will you allow that?
Yeah.
I'll roll one as well.
Do you want to roll for religion?
You go ahead.
What's your religion?
0.
Okay, so it's mine.
So it's mine.
Yep. Nope.
No one tell her.
Dirty 20.
Mine rolled back, and it's now an 8.
It's a dirty and a natural, I guess, because my increase is 0, so 20, just 20.
So you rolled
To know about Utau.
Yeah, he's confused.
I said dirty 20.
I just need to know that you rolled a 20.
Yes.
Mine went.
Why do you gotta make this awkward?
No.
Gotta be dirty.
Try to make everything awkward if you're guessing.
You do know a few things about Utau. First off, you know that Utau is a god of the lands of Faerun and Toril. However, Utau isn't like the other gods. While most of the gods have a divine domain where they like to spend their time and rule over their own domain, Utau didn't want his own domain. Utau wanted Cholt. Utau wanted this tiny little piece of land, and that's all. That's what he wanted. And Utau lived among the people of Cholt and considered them to be like his children. And so he would walk here and even had a grand city and people and all sorts of things dedicated towards him. But as the people of Cholt and the wild itself became more and more violent, the people began to go at war with one another, and all of the fighting and evil that had come across his land began to make him so upset that he decided to leave. And Utau just vanished. And while sometimes there can still be clerics of Utau, they're very rare, and Utau doesn't answer prayers or respond in any way. And it's said that Utau will not return until evil has been cleansed of Cholt.
So really our main goal is to rid Cholt of evil and basically bring back Utau.
How long has Utau been gone?
Utau disappeared thousands of years ago.
So well before the Death Curse.
Well before the Death Curse. Among Ubtal's favorite people were actually the Tabaxi. It's said that Ubtal created the Tabaxi. And his other most favorite thing is mazes. That something about the teachings of Ubtal is that there is wisdom from walking the labyrinth.
Oh, come on.
Stara, hey, you're interrupting. Can you go play your game? You gonna be there? Are you gonna sit there and be quiet because you can't talk? Okay, no talking.
I would like to begin walking this maze in silence.
Alright. You take to the maze in the center of this prayer hall and you walk the labyrinth.
How long does it take me?
A minute and a half.
Can I recognize that it's the same maze that was on the statue?
It's different.
Okay. But still simple?
Slightly more complex.
Okay.
I'll walk as well after him.
Yeah.
I will walk it also. Are you coming?
Yep. Yep. Apparently there's a small aracocra touching my hair.
Put a nest in your branches.
I guess so.
You walk the labyrinth from start to finish. You see that some of the monks kind of look at you, and it's difficult to kind of read their expression. As some monks come in, you see that when a monk enters, or when a monk is ready to leave, before they leave, they take off their prayer beads and they hang them on a hook. And those same prayer beads get picked up by some other monk sometime later.
It's not a personal item, it's like a...
It appears that it's not a personal item whatsoever.
Do not take them.
I don't want to take them, but when I'm done with the maze, I would like to go over and have a closer inspection of whatever one's hanging on the wall.
Yeah. You see that the beads themselves, when you get closer, you see that they have fine etchings on them that look like a labyrinth in a three-dimensional sense. A line that goes from one side to the other where it is, and you can kind of trace along it with your fingers or your thumb. But aside from that, they're pretty simple. They're just metal beads about the size of a strawberry.
I thought they were like just like a marble, not a straw. It's a big bead.
What is a piton again?
Oh, what? Oh,
Piton.
Yes. Piton, yeah.
Yeah, it's a metal spike that you can use with a hammer to drive into rock to help you climb.
I'm gonna ask one of these Arakakra who don't seem busy, not in the middle of a prayer or something. See if I can ask them and see if they can show me the way to the true queen of Chult.
What backpack do you have? Either of you two.
I don't know. Okay.
I want to say that I just have an explorer's bag. No. Can't remember what monks can start out with.
This is yesterday's.
So, as you are answering his question about your backpack, you stop one of the monks, and he looks at you and says, "My apologies.
Explorer's
But for Queen Princess of Chult?"
Yes.
Yes. Out of the monastery, you will find she has a home here provided,
Okay.
and there you will find Princess Princess Moxnari. Mowaxanari.
Mowaxanari. Okay.
The Arcocker that he has already distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like that word. What are you doing?
I would like to walk up and ask him a question as well.
Mowaxanari.
Mowaxanari.
Yes?
Can I borrow your prayer beads?
Oh, I don't have.
The ones on the wall.
They are not mine. They belong to the monastery.
Is it okay that I...
But we would need to ask all in the monastery if you may borrow them.
Are you part of a meeting?
That's gonna be a big,
That'll be a very big distraction.
yeah.
Can I hold them? The ones on the wall.
Yes. You may pray.
Thank you. I walk over to the wall weirdly and I pick up a set off the wall and I would like to go over.
Oh, thanks.
You didn't say it was cauldron. What did you call it? The fire in the center of the room? A brazier.
Don't do that.
What?
I thought you were gonna try to set them on fire.
No. I'm actually a little more intrigued than that. I would like to fish out a piece of non-hot coal. I'm after the black soot.
You see that there's some on the floor around it, but the stuff on the inside is definitely too hot.
Okay.
Well, maybe not. You got a robot hand. Oh, you still take fire damage.
I'm just after the black soot.
Yeah, there's some on the floor.
Okay, so I kind of rub it across one of the beads, and then I take the bead and like run it across the flat part of my arm.
Trying to make a maze pattern.
Trying to see what happens when you lay the maze out that's across the bead.
It says, "Congratulations." No. It doesn't do a whole lot. It transfers some of the pattern and some of the soot across your arm, but there's not really anything there that catches your attention.
Okay. Then go put it back.
Following the instructions of the Arakakra, he pointed to an area that leads out on the second floor. There is a door, and if you take the stairs up to the second level and opens the door, it takes you through an area that you see is a sort of training hall. There are 4 or 5 Arakakra monks here who are sparring with weaponry. And you recognize some of their exotic weaponry, unusual, strange weapons that aren't common throughout most other kingdoms. But on the back side, there is an open arch that leads up once again. And you can see that there is another house out there that looks much like the rest of the houses that you've seen, although this one looks to be in better condition.
More well put together.
Sort of, almost like decorated. Stara can't talk.
Decorated as much as mud and straw can be.
It's got some designs on it, and you see that there's like a wind chime hanging outside, and flowers.
I go and knock on this door.
Go on.
So I don't know if anybody else is with me or
Yeah,
if
no,
I'm in the tavern.
I'm with you.
You're in here interrupting. You can wait till break.
I just want to see what the bead.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Okay. I go. Have doors, right?
On this particular house?
Yes.
This one does have a door, yes.
Okay. I will go and lightly knock on this door.
Sarah, no. As you go up to the door and you knock, the door opens up and you see the elder-looking Ajara answering.
Right.
And she opens the door and says, "You have arrived. This is good."
Yeah, I had to ask my way to get to here. I wasn't told how to get here. But we found a way, so that's what matters.
Come in. And might I present to you Her Grace, the Queen, Princess Mowaxanari? and you see that there is a girl of about 11 years of age sitting on a chair. And she's dressed in very royal, regal-looking browns and blues and yellows.
Just being a monk, do I know whether I need to bow or kneel or anything specific like that, or would I need to do a history or religion check?
You know that it's kind of common etiquette to bow or kneel before royalty.
Okay, I'm gonna kneel. Yeah, I'm gonna kneel. And then I kind of like nudge the party members also to kind of like kneel as well.
I kneel down and say, "What are you looking for?"
No, it's respect to royalty.
Okay.
Policy. I guess.
You may rise in my presence, and thank you for joining me here in my home. What is it that travelers like yourselves have come to beseech from the true Queen of Thought?
Well, we didn't come here searching for anything, but we helped a Arakakra named Nefir. I don't know if you recognize that name at all, but he told us to travel to Kirsabal, and that we would be gifted with the ability of flight.
That is not concern from my own. Ashara, you said that these travelers were here in order to help us.
And yes, we are also, I guess that left out a pretty part there.
It's true, Your Grace, that they came on behalf of seeking heir to reward, for they had saved one of the flock. However, I also believe them to be capable champions, as they, from tales told, were able to defeat a fair number of terror folk, and so I believe that these may be the champions that you need in order to restore you to your throne.
Very smart, Ashara. Stole the words right out of my mouth.
What do you travelers, what do you know of Cholt and my people?
We know that it is under a death curse.
A death curse?
Yes.
That is not much of a concern of my own.
Well, I mean, considering the fact you are very alive, yes, I agree. But we were kind of teleported here from
The one who's got the
a different world, part of the world. And we were asked to help rid Cholt of evil.
Well then, you have come to a most fortuitous place in the time of this land. That is to say, that if you are capable of providing and proving your worth, that perhaps you are able to restore me to my throne, and that together we can truly rid the evil of this land.
Yes.
With that being said, I must ask then that you travel to my sacred, hallowed homeland, the lost city of Omu. And once you find Omu, there, hopefully, you will find a treasure that marks true my claim to the throne.
Okay.
I need a particular chalice. It is a treasure of my kingdom and royal lineage.
What does the chalice look like? Are there going to be multiple chalices here that we're going to have to choose from? Or is this a one-of-a-kind chalice?
This particular chalice is very easy to recognize. It was carved from the soul of a man, gilded in gold. It is known as the skull chalice of Chikagare. Chikagare.
You said skull chalice.
What's the race of the person we were talking to?
Human.
Oh, this one's human?
Yeah.
Right, yes, you're right. Skull chalice of what?
Here you go. That's what she looks like.
Okay.
So the child is not a bird.
And she has a mask of a beacon.
Nope, that is a mask that is actually being worn as you're talking. A much younger, another human boy comes running in. He appears to be about 6 years of age. And he has a beak mask on. And he's like, but walk someday, I'm going to go out and play now. I have finished my chores. He's like, nah, not now. I am in important business that pertains to the future of the kingdom. Act like a good prince. You must not interfere. I apologize for the presence and most rude interruption by my younger brother.
Children are free spirits. It is no interruption.
His free spirit must learn respect, and he must learn to bend the knee.
So we take little man.
So back to that skull chalice of what was that last word?
Chikakari.
Chikakare. Okay. And where was this home that your Omu?
The lost city of Omu.
Now you say it's lost. How did you lose it?
I did not lose it. My parents lost it. We were forced from our home due to corruption and other such things.
My lemonade.
Nah, I told you, stop. No more interruptions.
Do you know where on the map this city is?
I have a map.
If I show it on the map, could you X marks the spot?
The Arakakra know of the location of Omu.
Can they take us there?
They can show you the way.
Not to be a...
Ashara just nods her head.
Not to be, I lost for words right now. Not to be rude, but going back to this gift of flight business,
That's never a good way to start a sentence.
I have quite a bit of curiosity over the sensation of flight.
Ashara looks at you. Oh, it's a fine sensation. It's a lot like falling, but you never hit the ground. Because of the things that you have done and how you have aided one of our own, I am more than happy to gift you with flight. It is a simple process, though it requires a very rare ingredient, one that, unfortunately, I do not have on hand.
Wait, what is yours?
It is a flower known as the black orchid. If you retrieve a single black orchid, I can gift upon you the gift of flight for up to 10 creatures.
Have we seen one in our travels so far?
They are very rare. I can only tell you of one place where they are known to grow, although it is sacrilege and forbidden for an Arakakra to tread upon such dark, tainted land.
Is it sacrilege for you to show us?
It is not sacrilege for us to show you. In fact, we could even carry you part of the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, how close can you get us to it?
Half the distance between here and there.
What's surrounding it? Is there...
What is so sacrilege about this place?
It grows in a terrible, dark garden that was once cultivated by one of Princess Moaxanare's ancestors, a former queen of Omu, who was cursed and imprisoned in her own garden.
Is she still there?
I cannot say for sure if she is there or not, or what became of her, though
Do you have a timeline? Like, was this like a really long time ago? Or like,
it was at least 100 years.
Okay.
Perhaps 150, I believe.
do I know, this might be figuring out how long our doctor lived.
Our cocker lived to be about 60 years of age.
So it's
Much shorter
100
than
years to be like real old for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like ancient.
I'm not sure if that's true though. I feel like they live longer, but I got like this weird feeling that our cockers don't live very long.
Out of curiosity, how did a human such as yourself come to rule over the Arakakra?
There is no rulership here. I am merely the most experienced in spiritual training, and so I help guide those who are younger than myself. But I do not make decisions.
How old are you exactly?
I am 46 years of age.
And she looks like she's 11.
I apologize. I did not know you were speaking to the Queen. I thought you were still speaking to me, the Arakakra.
Human!
I was gonna say this is some like anime story here.
I apologize as well. I had drifted off and stopped listening to such boring, tedious details, such as Arakakra and flowers. It is not something that concerns me, though if you wish to ask me about my age, I can tell you that I am 12 years of age.
And how did you come to be so renowned amongst the Arakakra? They're not your species.
Oh, they keep us here as guests because nobody else would shelter us. When my parents had died, to unfortunate circumstances, the Arakakra had brought us here in order to keep us safe and provide us with a home. We have been here all of my life, and I long for the day when I can once again sit upon the throne of Omu and rule over Chult, and cast down those treacherous, treasonous dogs in Nyanzaru who claim to be trade princes. They disrespectfully rule over what does not belong to them.
It's only been here half a life.
Once I am on the throne once again, they will either bend the knee or they will have their heads mounted on a pike.
So did your family have good relations with the Arakakra before this?
The Arakakra are just good people.
Okay. Okay.
Shall we go? Because it would make the other thing easier for us. I mean, if we could fly, it would be a lot easier to find the other place.
Yeah. We need to go find a flower first. So where is this flower located?
Didn't they say they were going to take us? They would take us halfway.
Oh yeah, but I'd like to know where on the map we will be
I have
going.
a map. Can you just
What's going on? The switch chocolate?
I can mark it on your map, yes.
I just selected the first one. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Much appreciated.
What you are looking for are the lost gardens of Ningalore.
Or the landlord?
Now you don't have to.
Yeah, it does.
Now you don't have to beat you on camera.
Instead, she'll just beat you on camera.
You have your drink.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, I'm not laughing. Oh, there we go.
Oh, right here. Sorry, don't get mad.
That's not my drink back.
I'm
My drink back. I want that.
Come here. Like, honestly,
We can carry you halfway to Ningalore, though after that you will be forced to walk on foot through the dark jungles of Chol.
Okay.
From there we will wait at the monastery. Upon your return, there will be a signal fire for you to light at the base of the monastery, and its smoke will alert us to your presence.
So I won't have to levitate up here and.
Once you
Can't
light,
do that anymore.
once you light the fire, we will be able to bring you back up to the monastery.
And then, do you mind? Never mind. Yes. Just one request, if I may.
Yes?
If I may. May. Can we get some sort of blessing of protection before we go to this dark, evil place? I know this is a monastery. I too am a monk, so.
From what I have heard, you have already given a offering to the statue of Uptal.
Yes, we did.
If that is the case, then I assure you that Uptal watches over you, and you all have DM inspiration.
Sweet.
Oh, that's good.
Is that for the donation or?
Yes.
Yeah, for your offerings.
Nice.
I don't want that one.
Magnet berries are good.
So good.
Whatever's full up.
I love peanut berries.
Fire and drink.
These aren't as good as the other blender secrets.
Shit about total.
Anyways,
Okay. Thank you for that.
7.5 minutes.
yeah, let's take a 5 to 10 minute break.
Late in the story.
Alright, let's switch on over. We're on
I want one of them. I want two.
and
I was gonna say, get on one that's more interesting.
transition. You're back. We are still on break, but I'm trying to fix my audio, so this is just a little test to see if I sound like my voice is way too low in octave. And
Are we having that problem again?
yeah, somebody said we were having it again. I think I hopefully fixed it. So, right back. Going back to break. Be right back. And we're back. Hey, people out there in chat. How's my voice sound? Oh, Daniel, awesome. I'm gonna try that later. Cause I don't know if I can do it right now. Daniel sent me a link. Hopefully it will fix sound because we're all still like really deep in the octaves.
Do you like my voice when it's like this?
What happens when I talk like this?
Now you sound like so manly when you do that.
What happens when I talk like this? Did you say steak?
I want you to paint me like one of your French girls.
Alright, but we're back. The thing was, you guys were all talking to Princess Mowax on. She's got such a typical name.
Princess Milwaukee.
No, Mowaxinari.
Mowaxinari. And Ashara. Yeah, sound is still weird. Wait, still off? Like sound is all the way off, or it's just sounds weird?
Sound should not. Oh, I think it means off by.
Sound
off. Like it's
physically on.
It's on, but the voice is off.
Sounds like witness protection.
Oh god, that laugh was probably terrifying.
Yeah. Daniel says he wants us to do the rest of the stream while just quoting lines from Scream.
I don't know that movie good enough to do that.
Huh?
I don't know what about scary movie.
Oh, okay, me neither. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been so many years.
It's not my jam.
Never seen it.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'll be off with the doofy.
Yeah. Dude, did you just shit your pants? Yeah, let's go ahead. God damn it. No, just like, we told you not to spend so much time alone in your room with your vacuum. I said don't bother me when I'm vacuuming.
This is how we break the DM.
Yeah,
We did.
there you go. So,
I blame Daniel.
they talk about, they've talked to you about getting the Black Lotus. They said that they would do this ritual for you, not the Black Lotus, the Black Orchid. If you can get this Black Orchid, then they will perform the ritual of the 4 winds and give you the 7 winds, Dance of the 7 winds, and it will give you the gift of light. But they don't have the orchid.
I already wrote it down.
But now we have a way to get there. And,
Yeah, they marked it on our map, right?
yep.
Yes.
Which is not really on that.
Okay, because I'll be able to read better now.
Map. The only place that they know where the Black Orchid grows is a place called Nangalore.
So, with how close you can get us, how long will it take us to get the rest of the way? Walking.
Probably about a day.
Alright. Well, as long as you do that, we will be ready, right, everyone?
Woods of the night.
Refreshing my brain of the voices. I just have so many.
Suggest that the next time you talk to people, that perhaps you don't speak to them with your eyes closed.
It's a way of the shadow kind of thing. It's
Yes.
try to feel my surroundings without seeing them.
Right.
It's like right below
Nangalore.
Crucible. It's right next to it.
Okay. We have one other place that's marked on the map.
What place?
That's, I think, we're...
Our, Cocker...
You read it.
That wasn't even close.
Alright, let's hear it.
I don't know who wrote this.
I do.
Hamar?
Crockelhammer.
Crockelhammer.
Crockle Hammer.
Crockelhammer.
Crockle Hammer.
That's exactly it.
That was the albino dwarf who wanted to take you somewhere.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, he died, so...
He's died.
We don't have to go there anymore.
Did not last long.
Do you, by any chance, have any or suggest any guides,
Which one are you talking to?
Princess?
Anyone who's listening.
I do not deal with the business of the monastery.
Okay, fair enough.
I could not detect or direct you to any type of guide to take you through the dangerous jungles down below.
Would you be able to, Ashar? Obviously not through where we're about to go, because it is,
I have a friend. Perhaps I could speak with them.
that would be amazing.
I happen to know that he and his ally are camped not far from here.
Okay.
Once upon your return with the Black Orchid,
Your friend's name?
his name is...
I pulled his name out of my hat. We're friends, I swear.
During that awkward moment when you... Artis. His name is Artis. And his close companion who is never far behind that has some fresh beds in a chest. You're able to put any belongings you wish into the chest. The beds are very, very simple. Bits and pieces of vegetation from the jungle large into what's kind of a large crate. And you've never tasted some of these unusual things. Except for, those of you who don't eat.
Do I just
Bowl and you watch as people eat and you're like, I'm part of the group. Kind of a thing that Warforged do. See,
Try to fit in.
yeah, Warforged are renowned throughout history of understanding the importance of mealtime, but
I've never actually had one.
awkward. So upon them open up and they use the inertia to carry them far across the tree, disappearing before you at an alarming rate. It's clearly that the Ara cockroach is a distance in a short amount of time.
What time of day is it now?
It's before lunch.
Oh.
Okay.
You said the end
You
of the
said
day.
day is finished, and I'm like, oh.
Sorry, your chores are
Specifically
finished.
said we didn't want to travel.
Did they approve of my cleaning?